A top AEW star looks unlikely to return to the company anytime soon. Plus, Saraya has been cleared for an in-ring return, and WWE have made an offer to a popular free agent. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Few names that we could attribute this to right now, but there is a top star within AEW who doesn't look like they're going to be back on the books for a while yet. In fact, any time soon. Who are we talking about, Andrew?
We're talking about Jeff Hardy. So PW Insider is saying here that Jeff Hardy has a pre-trial hearing for his DUI-related charges in Florida on Wednesday, the 19th of October. As we reported over the summer as well, if you remember, Hardy's attorneys waived his right to a speedy trial and requested a hearing set for July to be pushed back 60 days to assist in his defense. The 19th of October date would be the rescheduled hearing. PW Insider is told Hardy is still officially with AEW, but is not expected to return from his suspension until his legal matters are cleared up and he's shown he can maintain sobriety. Hardy has been in treatment for some time as well after his arrest earlier this year. Now, if we remember as well, I think Matt Hardy was talking on his podcast with Wardlow, and Matt Hardy recently stated that fans will see a new Jeff Hardy when he does eventually return to AEW.
I do hope so.
Me too.
I do hope so.
I mean, I think it's a good thing that he is unlikely to return soon, because I think we need to make sure that Jeff Hardy is fully sober and has fully overcome what he's clearly going through at the moment.
But also as well, like it's one thing to be sober and to be back ready to go, and hopefully he will be. But all the reason this hasn't happened yet is because this court case has been moved back so far and it hasn't happened yet. So the ramifications from the court case, depending on how the courts find him, well, that changes things again.
It could do.
It could do, and it could move Jeff Hardy's return years back, maybe.
Which, I mean, might be somewhat of a blessing in disguise, perhaps, as well. I mean, who's to say, who's to know? But I mean, I think, and we've spoken about it multiple times before as well, I think something definitely does have to change within either the way, you know, that obviously Jeff Hardy's demeanor is, and also in his in-ring work as well, because obviously, you know, the things that he does, it takes a toll on his body, and you can imagine when things like that happen and you start self-medicating, that's where things start to spiral, don't they? So fingers crossed we see Jeff Hardy when he returns, and just everything's just changed, and for the better as well. You
can't not want somebody to be right. And to be better. So we hope that however this ends up for him, we hope that he is better soon. Well, let's talk about an in-ring return in AEW that is happening relatively soon. The Wrestling Observer reporting that Saraya has been officially cleared by Dr. Michael Sampson. She looks to be feuding with Britt Baker going forward. And Dave Meltzer goes on to talk about the back and forth that they had. They got into it.
He was very lit. They got into it.
They got into it. What he said. On Dynamite, and they did. What I noticed, and it was only a subtle thing, was on Dynamite when they had that scrap, there was the sort of momentary pause to see like what's Saraya going to do as everyone's starting fighting. Like, does Saraya then just step away? That'll be quite telling. But then I think Saraya swung.
Yeah, she gets into it. They have a bit of a back and forth.
And there was a pop from the crowd because
there was as well.
That isn't just like, yay, they're fighting. That's just, oh, that's physical contact.
Well, obviously,
that means there's a thing.
Yeah, well, earlier in the evening, Britt Baker was there in a backstage segment saying like the doctors haven't cleared her at all. So I guess that was, you know, leading into this, maybe throwing the audience and us watching off a little bit. And then this finally does happen. You are going to get the pop, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And that match with Saraya and Britt Baker, I believe, I can see that happening at, what's our next one? Is it Full Gear?
Full Gear in November.
Full Gear, isn't it? I could see that being a part of Full Gear.
Me too.
I don't think you need a title for it. I think it's just like, welcome back, Saraya.
Yeah.
Here's the best in AEW.
I agree.
Go for it.
I agree, absolutely. I think not every feud needs a belt either, does it?
No.
Not every feud needs a belt. And I kind of like the idea of Britt Baker for the longest time calling the women's division her division, and then someone like Saraya coming in and being like, I'm going to question you on that, young dentist lady.
I've just taken a look at the deeds, and this seems to be my house.
Trademark.
In the middle of my street, my house. It's a madness song. Tonight in Philly, The Undertaker is on stage.
Damn it, I thought you were going to say The Undertaker is getting silly.
He is getting silly in Philly because it's the return of the One Dead Man show, which we saw in Cardiff, where Undertaker sits on the stage with a bottle of Jack Daniels and goes, "Tell you who's rubbish backstage? Flippin' Jimmy Jimmerson. I hate him."
Not Jimmy Jimmerson.
Don't you hate it when you're trying to have a nice sleep in your casket and your brother sets the funeral parlour on fire? Am I right?
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs. Is this on? Hello? Do you hate it when you hurt your leg and you have to go away and stop being dead and come back as a biker? Am I right? Am I right? Hello? Is this on? Oh, that you've got to look forward to.
I'd pay to see that. I would pay to see literally what you just did. I would honestly pay to see that.
Desperately trying to do relatable pieces with the audience. They're like, no, we don't know what it's like to fight a biker chain match against a former UFC champion, Undertaker. Oh, he touched my wife's belly. Am I right? Fightful Select has learned that the Undertaker's One Dead Man show for Friday at the Theatre of Living Arts has sold out. The one in Philly is part of the Extreme Rules weekend. This is kind of what WWE are going to be doing with Undertaker now.
Yeah.
Taking him to these events and just getting him to do comedy. It's not comedy. It's like him telling stories from the road and stuff, and it's a nice idea.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Personally, I love the idea that it's comedy.
Yeah.
And I think it's to keep him busy now he's retired.
I think you're right. I think it is to
Some
keep
people
him busy.
get a shed.
Some people get a shed.
My dad retired and built a pub shed in his garden. Undertaker goes out.
He gets a show.
He gets a show.
I think it's a cool thing because, you know, with a lot of the older wrestlers, they have plenty of stories to tell, and a lot of them are quite fascinating to learn about. Just stories of years gone by. Stories of years gone by. Fightful
Select say that Undertaker, WWE executives and local organisers have been very pleased with the event. WWE been particularly happy with a new event to add to the weekends of premium live events, and that has been such a success. It now has sold out shows in Nashville, Philly, and of course in Cardiff, and more dates are coming. And I want to go to the one like 2 years from now, where it's like, please welcome back to Cleveland, The Undertaker. And he comes on stage going, "I've told all my stories."
That's when he starts doing the comedy stuff.
Yes. Do you know about Jake Roberts? Am I right? Okay, so that's how. If you're going along, let us know how it goes. Tell us how many chuckles that you get out of a laughy out loud night with The Undertaker. We'll end on a bit of news that kind of goes against something that we had reported just a few days ago regarding AEW and Bandido.
Yes.
What's the crack, Andrew?
So obviously we reported yesterday, and it was reported yesterday, that Bandido had signed his contract offered by AEW, but that is apparently not the case, Tom. In an interview with Mass Lucha, Bandido said he is still in talks with AEW, but also confirmed he received an offer from WWE as well. In the interview, Bandido said that AEW head Tony Khan and Jericho pulled him aside after the match and tried to convince him to sign with Khan, allegedly saying he didn't just want Bandido in AEW, but "I need you in AEW." He also said AEW is likely where he will end up. I mean, it's not a bad thing not a bad situation for Bandido to be in right there, is it?
It's what we would call in our house a champagne problem.
Yes.
Oh, WWE are offering me a bag of money, and AEW are offering me a bag of money. Oh, I have to choose a bag of money. I'm delighted for Bandido. He's brilliant.
Me too. He's so good. I saw online on Twitter, someone was like, you know, people wanting to see Bandido team up with other sort of luchadors and everything as well. But this person was like, what about teaming up with Adam Page? My brain just went then. Hangman Adam Page.
Ooh.
A cowboy and a bandit together.
Bandido!
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Something like that would be pretty cool. Or at least let them have a bit of a feud or something.
Yeah,
I'd like to see
Wild
that.
West thing.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Me too.
That'd be a nice thing. Maybe Bandido's the White Rabbit.
Could you imagine? He just pulls the mask off and his head is a rabbit.
A proper little rabbit.
He's got like a little rabbit
nose twitching.
Like in Men in Black, you know, where like the aliens take the masks off and it's just a little tiny head there.
We're talking Extreme Rules over the weekend. So we've got live reactions to Extreme Rules on Saturday night and what happened at as well. It'll be myself and Adam Pacitti, who, by the way, is doing Bound for Glory reactions tonight on the YouTube channel. If you're watching Impact Bound for Glory, watch it along with Adam Pacitti. Check out Adam and I doing predictions for Extreme Rules as well. Did you really give away his actual thing in that video?
I haven't done anything.
Just seen a few people who've seen it and said that.
What?
Yeah,
I don't.
Something for you to look at on the Extreme Rules predictions video. That if you want to get connected to Adam Pacitti, check out the video. More news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Kiss.
Love you, bye.